Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to freedailycoaching.com to the Thursday morning hangout. I want to say good morning and welcome to each and every one of you, whether you're watching here on the webinar, maybe you're taking a peek from Google Plus, or maybe you're even sneaking in from the YouTube channel because you heard about what was going on this morning. Whether you're sneaking in and taking a peek, whether you're watching the recording, or whether you're here live, I want to say, first of all, thank you for taking a few minutes out of your precious time, out of your day, out of your evening, maybe it's the afternoon, to take a moment and share some time with us. Now, this morning, I'm going to be doing an interview. So if you haven't been here before, sit back, grab a cup of coffee, grab maybe you like to have a breakfast bar or a breakfast smoothie. Maybe you're doing a detox and today's your 5th day on super juice and you really want hash browns for breakfast, but today's your last smoothie day. Grab your smoothie. It's going to be okay. You're going to make it through it, buddy. Right? You'll make it. It's only one more day of detox, right? Because you always see on Facebook everyone's doing a cleanse, right? So just sit back and relax, right, and enjoy. This morning we really have something special going, and I want to say, first of all, let me go and just look before I introduce our guests, guys. I want to say good morning to some of the people that are here regularly. Phil out in Minnesota, Karen up in Canada, Nancy out on the East Coast. We got Linda over in Pennsylvania, Mr. Jack down in Texas. Hey, Tom, what's going on? Ron, I see you. Mrs. Mupo is hanging out today. Mr. Ortega or Ms. Ortega, I see you there. Debbie, Judy, Tanya, what's going on, everybody? Good morning and welcome to each of you. As you guys are popping on, good morning to each of you. Now, you know, there's been a few times where I've really promoted here on the Free Daily Coaching Call going to live events, hanging out at live events, going and meeting people, really participating in your business by going out and networking live. Well, at the last live event that I went to, which many of you guys know was the No Excuses event out in Las Vegas, I was able to meet a bunch of new people, a bunch of people that I had either seen or met online and hadn't met face-to-face, or people that I had just never met at all. And one of the people that I had seen online, really just a few weeks before going to No Excuses, was Justin Clark. And let me tell you, he was going on Facebook like 1,000,000 miles an hour, right? Like, I thought I was doing some fun stuff on Facebook and I was screwing around having some fun, but this Justin Clark guy, he was hanging out with some other people, and it was like they were like assaulting Facebook, right? That wasn't even like they were like kind of like playing around. Like, I felt like I was like splashing around in the pool. They were like, it was like they had like SEAL Team 6. They had surrounded Facebook. They're like, okay, we got you guys. We're on the mark. We know exactly how this thing is going to roll, and we're gonna tell you how this is going to play out. So going to this No Excuses event, there was Justin and a few of these guys that he had been working with, and I was like, man, I got to meet these guys, right? They're on fire. And so I went to the event. I got to meet Justin, and this is really how I got to meet him, guys. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, all right, man. And then, like, there's so many people there. Then you're out at night, and you know, people are drinking beers and having cocktails and shooting craps, and you know, you're in Vegas. So it's like, oh, bro, guess what? And it's like a fun little story. And then, you know, it's 27 people standing around drinking beers. So the stories go so fast and it's so disconjointed that there was no real time to connect. And over this last week, guys, I had an opportunity to not only text back and forth with Justin, but actually get on the telephone with him, really sit down and hear what his story was and what his journey was in this industry. And right away, I knew, hey, this is someone that needs to be here so that I can share this person with you guys, because Justin has done some phenomenal stuff. And you guys know, I get excited about the fun stuff, like when people make a lot of money or they do a big sale or something like that. Of course I get excited because it's life-changing, but that's not the big deal. It's not because Justin made $1 gazillion last week, or 1 month he made 5 gazillion, or over the last 27 years he made 58 piles of gazillions and gazillions. That's not what it's about. What it's really about is the mindset that he has, the actions that he's taken, and then the results that he's gotten because of the mindset and the action. So someone that has literally been in this industry for more than a decade. Okay, guys. And the fun part is this: I'm guessing that a lot of you haven't heard of Justin Clark. Yesterday, people were like, "Well, who's Justin Clark?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, who's Justin Clark? Are you on Facebook?" So, Justin, obviously, some of the people don't know who you are. So, good morning and welcome. And first off, let's start with just a little recap about you, right, for everyone.
Sure, sure. You know, it's funny, you were talking about, a decade. Over a decade, 13 years, pretty seriously in network marketing, online marketing. But technically, I'm like over 2 decades, because when I was 18, my father, his name's Dr. Fran Clark, he had me out going door to door for Excel Communications, signing up people on, phone service. So I guess I can count that, right? I mean, He was just paying me.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, if you're getting paid, it absolutely counts. Absolutely.
You go out and tick off the neighbors. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, right?
So anyway, but but seriously, a little over 13 years doing online marketing and network marketing. We started our first company 13 years ago, my wife and I, and we built that company, and that was a kind of a different time than now, Bert. When you joined a company back then, that was all you did. You didn't do 5 companies. You didn't do one company and then start another company 3 months later, and then another one 3 months later, and oh my gosh, I could go on and on. That's a whole different topic. But it was something where you focused, and we built our first company to over 4,000 people. It took us about 4 years to get to that point. Supported us, as a full-time income. Had some challenges in that company. At that point, chose to move to another company for a couple years. And through this whole procedure of network marketing, tried to learn how to do online marketing so I could generate leads and customers for my network marketing company. And that kind of led me in another direction for the past about 8 years, which was affiliate marketing, which I've been doing, very successfully. After 5 years and some challenges and stuff that happened and some things in the industry I didn't like, I discovered affiliate marketing and took all those online marketing skills I had been using for my network marketing companies and applied them to more traditional companies. Like I've worked with American Express, Jenny Craig, Zillow.com, Proactive, doing online marketing for them, and I've been very successful doing that for the past 8 years. But once you're bitten by the network marketing bug, it just never quite leaves your system. Residual income is the best kind of income.
Right?
There's nothing else like it. Affiliate marketing it's not residual income. I mean, it's a one-off sale. It's a lead generated. It's all that sort of stuff. So, I've kind of ventured back into network marketing recently, back in September. And so I've been using some of the new skills that I have now to apply to that. But yeah, long history of online marketing, but I've been working for myself for a long time now, over 13 years, maybe almost 14 years. So
let me ask you a question, Justin. So you talked about, when you say we, is it you and your wife? Is your wife actively a participant in the business with you, or does she how does that work?
Well, yes and no. Not as intensely as she did when we used to do that one company together. But that was a lot of phone work. Back then, there wasn't Facebook. There wasn't a lot of different vehicles that people can use today to market their businesses. So we actually got on the phones. I mean, all day. That's all you did. And we actually, if people want to hear a story, we actually had huge lists of failing or failed network marketing companies. We worked with a guy named Tracy Biller back then. Some people on here might know what I'm talking about, but we went through and we would just hammer the phones all day, and we'd call network marketers and we'd say, hey man, just curious if you're open to taking a look at a really great opportunity. And some people say yes, some people say no, and then boom, we'd send them the info. And that's how we built a group to over 4,000 people from nothing. 27-year-old kids in an anti-aging nutraceutical company.
Sweet. It just shows that, it just shows that consistent action and taking it over and over and doing it over time, and that time was the big factor. I bet, and I'm not I don't know because I don't know the numbers on this, you know, because and obviously, you know, I don't even know if you do, but I bet if you went back and looked at those 4 years and you see there's 4,000 people over 4 years, I bet you if you look at like the first, like in the beginning, it's like a small amount and then it's all of a sudden and it grows and it's like
Yes.
in like year three, it's like what you did in the first quarter of year three is like more than you did in the whole entire year of year one. You know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
that's the power. That's that like exponential power of time and consistency that I think a lot of people don't realize in the MLM space, right? They see these people that come out and I'm not saying anything against 90-day blitzes or 100-day blitzes. I personally went through a 100-day challenge that blew my business up like it was wildfire. But I think this is what I believe. And tell me what you think, Justin. Would you agree that people they do a 100-day challenge like that and they get they get a little traction and they think then that's it?
Well, it's interesting. In any network marketing company, you're really looking at a 2 to 3 year time span before you get up to any significant residual income. Okay, and really 3 to 5 years before it's so stable that you could walk away from it and maybe look at doing something else. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But because of like the fast start bonuses in the industry and stuff like that now, people come out and they get a bunch of people in, they make a lot of money, and then they look at their residual check in month 3 and they're like, ah, man, this is not very good, and they tend to feel like they're doing something wrong, and they're not. It's just a matter of time. It's a matter of duplication, but it's a matter of laying the groundwork to create a solid team and building relationships. I mean, even though we build over the phone, that translated into us meeting people all over the country, building relationships. We met these people in person. Sometimes we traveled to them once our group started going. We really took that initial contact, which was just over the phone, and parlayed that into actually really getting to know these people and building a strong team with strong relationships, which can still be done today. It can be done even faster. But in the end, you do need to really dig in and get your hands dirty, get back to basics, and get to know people, and really work with your team. There's no point in bringing in hundreds and hundreds of people if you're not going to actually train and mentor them and help them get to where they want to go, because you'll never get to where you really want to go. And that just takes time. It takes training. It takes getting people established and everything like that. Yeah. Yep.
Well, absolutely. I'm glad you said that, and I'm glad that you're on that channel and that you shared that with people, because really people really they like when you mentioned the fast start bonuses, that's where people get crazy,
Yeah.
Like I try to and we talked about this the other day about like that we're in the people that are on this call know that I work in like this marketing. I use this marketing system to like brand myself, and how I started learning like how to work online, and I started looking at it in the bigger picture with that and my multi-level marketing company, and I'm like, listen, if I'm going to be doing both of these, and the multi-level marketing, I know I have to do it over years, right, to make it worth something, because if all you're counting is the fast start bonus, that's only a one time. It's like one deal. Like, okay, You got 10 fast starts this month, but then next month, your check went from whatever. Let's just say you got 2,500 in fast starts, right? This isn't an income claim because we're just making up a random company, but let's just say that was 250 and you made 10 sales. You're like, oh, awesome! I made $2,500 this month, and then the next month, what you actually make, if that guy doesn't sign anyone up or that guy doesn't actually take any action, or that gal, is like $10 a month off of their auto ship. So you went from 2,500, now all of a sudden you made 100, and you're like, whoa, there's not, that doesn't pan out. So I think that's really important, because people see these claims online, like I went from 0 to $12,000 in 14 days or something, you know what I mean? Just craziness. And you're like, wow, I'm really glad you did that. But did you tell people that you were doing this for 4 years before you started that?
Well, try 10 years, try 20 years. I mean, for you to be able to walk into a company and go to that level of success in that short period of time, the 2 weeks that you did that in is very misleading, because there was probably decades worth of building relationships before that and building your list, you know, to create that kind of success. And so, yeah, so newer people, I guess, to the industry, when they see that, yeah, it can be discouraging. You know, they actually feel like they're doing something wrong, and they're not at all. It's just that person, you know, they built their list. You know, the fortune is in your list that you build up, your relationships that you build with people. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you know, and I hear this sometimes. People be like, man, I got like 200 people, and you know, I'm not making enough money yet. You know, after 2 months, you know, and I'm like 200. I'm like, try 2,000, try 3,000, try 4,000. My father's largest organization was over 300,000 people. You know, so the magnitude that people are thinking of, they're thinking way too small on the numbers. You know, and it's got to be something where it's going to take you time till you get to those thousands. But again, it's like the old adage of a penny doubled every day, you know, for 30 days. You know, you want $1 million or do you want a penny doubled every day for 30 days? And most people take the $1 million and they don't realize how many millions of dollars they're leaving on the table that they could have had by just being a little more patient.
So absolutely, that's a really good one, because the quick fix mentality that we have in our society, the give it to me right now mentality, is robbing people. It's like that, and it's not robbing. People are allowing themselves. It's like people are cheating themselves out of so much in life, so much success, so much joy. Like, I'm going to use an example because I know that you're into martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
Think of all of the, and I did some martial arts when I was younger, but I do different activities. I do long distance running, triathlons, things of that nature. But since we're talking about you today, think of all of the things that you have learned, Justin, along the path, along the journey that you've participated in martial arts. Not just like how to block a punch or like how to do a triple roundhouse like Bruce Lee kick to my face.
Triple roundhouse, yeah.
I don't know if I can do like a triple roundhouse kick to my face. So that'd be sick, right? But it wasn't just like learning physical motions. It wasn't just learning like, okay, now I could punch some guy, right? There was some incredible lessons, I'm sure, along the way, and you would have never known that had you, like, after the first week, you're like, okay, well, I learned how to punch a dude in the nose, and I learned how to block a punch, and I learned how to block a kick. If you would have gave up like that and been like, well, I'm never gonna win a fight. I mean, obviously, we're not always doing it for fighting reasons, but you know what I mean? Like, if that was the mindset, think of what you would have missed out on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, there's so many things. I've been doing it for actually about as long as I've been seriously doing network marketing. I started in martial arts about the same time. So, you know, 13 years in that, 13 years in this. I don't know if that correlates to my success and why I've been able to succeed. I don't know. But, you know, it's there's definitely truth in that. But there's a lot of truth in just sticking with things. You're always getting better. You're never failing. Okay, you hear this expression, you fail your way to success. That's really true. As long as you don't take all that emotional baggage of failure with you, and you can just take the knowledge that you get from the failure, you know, and take that with you into your next experience and your next experience. Most people quit on the 1 yard line, Bert. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but they're just right there. They're just about to score the touchdown. They're just about to have that breakthrough, and they get frustrated just as they're about to break through and achieve what they want to get. So, yeah, sticking with things is imperative. It's an important skill to have in life, you know, to just be able to you know, take those experiences that you have. Never view anything as a failure. Just view it as education, and so you can take that new knowledge that you now have into your next experience. I mean, you just never know when everything's just going to kind of come in together. I was $30,000 in debt on credit cards trying to figure out internet marketing, and just didn't know what I was going to do. And it just happened that all that knowledge that I built up over about a 1.5 to 2 year period of trying online marketing, building up that debt, and then all of a sudden I found an opportunity where all of that came together, And I think within about 5 or 6 months, I'd earned enough to pay off all of that credit card debt. So,
That's,
you know, it can happen.
that is sick. Hey, I got a question. There's a question in the Q&A, so I want to go do that.
Sure.
I want to, before we jump over there, I want to do a couple things before we go to that question. First of all, what is there's a couple announcements I'm going to make today, guys, so I want you guys to track with me here, okay? I'm going to give out a couple different links. At the end of the webinar today, I'm going to send you guys to go, if you guys want, if you missed yesterday's webinar, I'm going to send you to a webinar that's going to happen today. You can copy the link too if you guys are promoting for the Guru Code, okay? So I want you guys to know that that's happening. Also, right before that, one of the ladies that is here all the time, she does some guest hosting here at Free Daily Coaching, Felicia Mupo, is hosting a webinar this afternoon. So I'll give you guys that link in just a minute as well over in the chat. But before we get to that, Justin, if people that are here right now, they want to go and reach out to you right now, they're like, wow, this Justin guy's got some good stuff. He's been doing this for a while. He's a resource that maybe is going to be able to enrich what they're doing. How do they connect with you? What's the easiest or what's the best way for them to do that?
Well, Facebook, of course. I'm facebook.com/igetvisitors. iGetVisitors is my traffic company, igetvisitors.com. That's what I started back in September. Once I get back into network marketing, so it's for online, it's traffic for online lead generation. But yeah, they can connect up with me on facebook.com/. Hey, there you go. You just popped it right into the chat. Look at that.
Right there. So go right there. That's how you guys can connect in with Justin. And check this out, guys. One of the methods that you guys see me do, and it's because it was taught to me, is one of the methods that I use to go meet people on Facebook is I go and find other people that have massive traffic. They have massive influence. They have a big post going on, right? Justin is one of those people where you can go to his Facebook page just about any time of the day, any day of the week, and there's massive engagement. There's like all kinds of people going crazy. Now, if you're following the techniques that I've been taught, that I teach, then it's really simple to go out and meet guys like Justin. Like, that's how I met him. I just found Justin doing the same thing in one of those threads too and started playing. Like, in my method, guys, for me, I'm not as like businessy as some of you, right? So some of you guys are a little bit like the vernacular that you use. I might go on to Justin's wall and do, he might post something like, hey, if you guys aren't interacting with me, then I'm going to defriend you. I might not just go on there and then start interacting just so he doesn't defriend me. I might make a joke about how I'm not going to interact while I'm interacting, right? You guys know that's the kinds of stuff I do. And by doing that, not only do I get Justin's attention, but everyone else on the thread's attention too, right? And so that just his Facebook just alone, in addition to connecting with Justin, you can meet so many other people that are great people that he's working with, that he's coaching, that are just connected with him because he met their Facebook friends, right? Like, what's your ratio to, like, I mean, I know it's not 100%, which people are like, what do you mean? Like, you have like let's just say you have like 5,000 or 10,000 people following you on Facebook, Justin. What's the percentage of that actually work directly with you?
Oh, a very small percentage of that work directly with me. But Facebook training, we could do a whole separate hangout on that for sure. Right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I do a lot of training on my wall. If you go back through my wall, you'll read great posts on Facebook marketing and stuff like that. I learned from a great guy, Kai Lowe, on how to do Facebook marketing, directly. And I started out, really not even doing Facebook at all. And within 4 months, I was up to having huge interaction, and I think I had like 2,000 friends. I don't even remember, but it was like there's a very specific way to do it. A lot of it has to do with what you're talking about, man. People go to Facebook for entertainment. They're not there to hear blah 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 blah. They don't want to hear that at all. They want to read something that's going to make them laugh. That's engaging. All that sort of stuff. But it's even more than just posting on your wall. There's so much to it, Bert, that we could talk about.
Well, and maybe that's something that we can set up, man.
Maybe we could.
Maybe if we can get you back out here, and we can maybe do a webinar where you and I set it up, and we can do something just on Facebook training.
Sure.
We can do it webinar. So I have a couple questions here that came in from the crew. One of the questions was, and this is a great question. What is your best tip for duplication in an MLM?
Well, I think one of the best things to start off with is you have to master your own sales process personally, okay? You have to get really good at knowing your product, knowing your trends, knowing your information, everything like that. Because if you can't sell your company or your opportunity or your product more specifically, how are you going to teach somebody else to do it? Do you see what I'm saying? So start with yourself. Get your hands, dirty. Get in there. Cut your teeth on talking to lots of people. Promote. Fall on your face 50 million times. Okay? Then you're going to know, and you're going to come out with some rock solid ways of approaching people about your product, your opportunity, etc. That are going to, it's going to be like so obvious to you how to train other people to do that. Do you see what I'm saying? So if you don't do it yourself, you're never going to be able to train a team to do it.
That's it. That amazing. The amazing answer that was so simple, guys. Right? That was a simple answer. This is the crazy part, guys. Justin just gave you like literally $1,000 tip right there. That was it. Like you could have paid Justin $1,000 to do some one-on-one coaching with him. He would have shown you some training. And when I say crap, dude, I don't mean crap like it's not good. I mean, the nonsense of like clicking the button and copy the paste the code over here and triple matrix this and put the Facebook picture ad up like that. But at the end of it, when it boiled down to that training that he gave you, what would he tell you was the most important thing? He just gave it to you right there. Go out, and he said it earlier. And now he just reiterated it. Go out and get your hands dirty, right? You can't make a mud cake, like you can't make a mud pancake without like getting into the mud. Like you can't explain to me how to make a mud pancake if you never stuck your hands in the mud. Because how would you tell me, like, dude, sometimes you got to dig over on the side where there's not as much water because that's like that mud is a little like it's thicker. And you got to smack that in and mix it around. Then you can get a good mud pancake, right? But if you never dug your hands in there, if you never got dirty, if you never called a bunch of people, how would you know what to say to them, right? And Justin shared it with us. He told us when they first got into this, him and his wife just picked up the phone. Hey, and I heard this, guys. I don't know if you guys heard this. Thousands of calls were made.
Oh, untold amounts of calls, Bert.
And hey, it was worth it. Well, this totally is the thing, guys. Is it worth it to be able to do this? Hey, are you guys open to like checking something out? No, piss off. No, you suck. No, stop calling me. No. Is that worth it? Let me ask you this. Would that be worth it at the end of it? At the end of all of that, if I told you I'd walk up and slap you across the face 5 or 6 times a day, right? Maybe even punch you in the gut. That's how it would feel. You're like, ah. But at the end of that 4 years, you'd have 4,000 people on your team. Would it be worth it? Was it worth it, Justin?
Absolutely. And not only for just having the 4,000 people, but you never know where things are going to lead you in life. And it led me on this whole journey that's been my life for the past 13 years. So heck yeah, man, it was totally worth it.
Absolutely, right? I mean, it's not even a question. Like, check this out, guys. The skill set that you will learn, that you will develop after thousands of calls, listen, you can talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime after 1,000 calls, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you could call a proctologist and sell them ice cubes after 1,000 calls. You're like, what's up, bro? You got sore butt? Right. I got ice for you, bro. I could cool you down, right? Like, get rid of the tux, my friend. I got something better. It's called ice, right? Like, literally, you could talk to anyone about anything after you do that. So great. I mean, this is what's powerful about you sharing it, Justin, is that it's not like you just came around yesterday and had overnight success. You've been in the industry for a while. and you're like, listen, this is the real deal, okay? You got to do it. You got to learn this skill set. So there's another question from someone else that have a similar story to yours. So for you, what was the greatest challenge when you were bringing your marketing from offline to bringing them online? What was that greatest challenge, and how did you make that transition?
Well, the greatest challenge, I think, with online marketing is the amount of distraction. There's so many choices, so many different ways you can do it, so many different companies, particularly when you get into Facebook, guys, you're going to get hit by, just tons of different stuff, and then you see these little pockets of, a couple weeks, somebody's really taken off with something, which, look, when everything launches, it always is great. Okay, every launch looks fantastic when you watch it on social media. Okay, my thing is if we get back to the basics of network marketing, okay, bringing it online is great, but you've got to have in your mind, the resolution to stick it out anyway. You can go faster online than we did on the phone. You can meet more people. You can expose more people. But in the end, you've got to do the same old, which is, meeting the people, building the relationships, et cetera, which is going to take some time. It's going to take some patience to get to where you want to go. And in the interim, you got to avoid all of this distraction that's going on and these different launches and stuff like that. When I have people hit me up, Bert, they hit me up. I'm sure they hit you up all the time too. They're like, hey man, this thing's great. We got great positioning. We've got you can be ground floor. I mean, this one's really going to take off. And I always tell them, I'm like, dude, I have this skill set here where I can build one of these things, okay? It doesn't matter if it's day 1 or day 3001, okay? Come back to me 3 years later. If you're still with the company, which they probably won't be in 3 weeks, or I think it's about 3 weeks right now. Some people last a good 3 months with companies, and then they bail and they go to the next one. But anyway, if the company is still around, then at that point I'll take a serious look at it. But the reality is, yeah, most of them don't make it. It's like gambling. We were in Vegas. The odds are against you. All right, the odds are against you when you're doing a startup company. I hate to break it to you. It's a bad gamble. It is a bad gamble. All right. There are plenty of great companies out there that if you're willing to go to work, you can just partner up with. They're already established. They're through in fact, you have a better chance of succeeding when a company's 3 years old than when it's just starting out. It's just the facts, So anyway, yeah, I think probably the greatest challenge was the distractions, and that was a challenge. But now though, online, there's so many opportunities to build real relationships. Even doing Google Hangouts, using Skype to do face-to-face calls, you can build a real relationship with people that are halfway around the world. We couldn't do that back then, okay? So, I think there's more advantages, but yeah, I think the biggest caveat is just, look, man, you gotta watch out for all that distraction out there. You gotta watch out for it.
Well, and then you're absolutely right, because there's so much. There's just so much, and the reality of what you talked about is that 3-4 weeks and people are moving on to the next thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing, and they think that it's the thing. Like, oh well, and I'm just gonna use. It doesn't matter, right? I'm not trying to make anyone feel offended or bad or good. It's like 1 minute you're selling the juicy juice, and then the next week you're selling vacation dream trips or whatever. I shouldn't have used that specifically because I wasn't trying to target that company. I really wasn't. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't matter what it is. Are the dream trips awesome? Yes, they are. They're awesome, right? Is losing weight awesome? Yeah. If you're 50 pounds overweight, it's phenomenal if you can lose some weight and feel better, look better, save money. Like, the whole thing is awesome, right? Is getting rid of pain, if you're in that company, is that good? Yeah, that's awesome too. Like, is the sport shake thing awesome? Yes, it's awesome, right? Is having A way to communicate with all of the people that you ever talked to via greeting cards. Awesome. Yeah, it's a great idea. That's awesome too. Like, they're all awesome, but check this out. If you join the vacation thing and you don't tell anyone about it, you don't talk to anyone, you don't do anything, and for 3 weeks you watch everyone else do it, and then in 3 weeks you're like, oh, well, this doesn't work. You know, I don't really take vacations, and that's kind of expensive. But you know, I'm kind of overweight, so I'm gonna do this super shake. And then you take the shake, but you only shake it up for like a week, because then once you tried it, you're like, wow, this tastes like bleh, and I don't really want to do it, and I'm not really motivated to lose weight, right? And that doesn't work, and then you move on to the next thing. It's not the thing.
And Bert, one other thing too, you have to realize all of this is very well documented now. If you're on Facebook, you are documenting your consistency, okay? You can look back over anybody's wall, and if they're trying to recruit you into something, if you go back and last month they were in one deal, the month before they were in another deal, the month before, just run away, okay? Don't do it. That's not somebody you want to work with, you know, or, I don't know. Anyway, yeah.
No, that's absolutely right.
Well
Or the flip side is you can go and join them, and then you can have that pain too. You can go through that experience for yourself if that's what you want to do. Like, you know, and the reality is this, because of the numbers that you talked about, and because everything is being documented now, because now you can see what's happening on social media. Companies have to provide statistics. You can just see it, guys.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it right out in front of everyone. So the reality is this: most of us, right? Most of us, so don't feel bad. You might be in the middle of it right now. You might have like a hand over here, like you're like, hey, I'm into this one, and I'm gonna put my foot up over in this one, right? And you're like, you're feeling kind of dirty right now, right? Because you're like, well, I was trying to do this thing, but I wasn't really sure about it, so I'm kind of doing this over here. Maybe that's where you're at right now, and if you're in that place, then just maybe take 5 minutes and take a hard look at what you're doing. Think about what it is that Justin shared with us this morning about what has really brought him the success that people talk about, that people really desire, right? Because Justin isn't this guy that's out there driving around in, I mean, I don't know what he drives, but he's not posting pictures of him in a Ferrari, in a Lamborghini, with like stripper chicks and like throwing money on people, right? Like, that's not happening. Like, when you see his pictures, it's like him in his backyard with, I was using the ice bucket challenge because I was with the snorkel.
That's not the norm, man.
But it's him hanging out, right? It's him enjoying his family. It's him being a real person, and in addition to that, he's reaping the benefits financially. He's reaping the benefits of taking some consistent actions over and over again, and really focusing on the core skill sets that are required to get the desired result.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Simply put, that's what he's done. So we've answered all the questions, I think. Let me make sure. Guys. Yep, I think we've answered all the questions. Some of the questions I kind of just weaved them into the conversation. Guys, we went a few minutes over. I want to say thank you so much, Justin, for coming over and not just sharing with us, but showing us that, hey, there's other people out here that are in all different companies that have been doing it for a while, that took a break, that have done some of internet marketing, that have done some network marketing, some affiliate marketing, but that you're really just at the core, you're just a regular guy saying, hey, I did it, and I can show you guys how to do it too, right? And here's some skill sets that I did. So thank you so much for coming out and sharing today. I would absolutely love it. Guys, tell me in the chat while we're finishing up here, if Justin came back, and I'm not saying he's going to, guys, I don't know, but if we could secure Justin and he would come back and do a private session, a private training just for you guys on Facebook and on his methods, would that be something that you guys be down for? Is that something that you guys would say, yeah, I would carve out a little piece of my time to go and hang out with Justin so he could show me exactly what he's doing? And if that's something that yes, that'd be valuable, I want you to do two things. I want you to tell me in the chat, and then I want you to go over and find Justin on Facebook, connect with him, and let him know, yes, thanks. Hey, no problem, Karen. I want to give you guys a link there. So while you guys are answering me, and I know there's a delay, yes, thank you, Linda. I put a link in the chat. That's for the webinar that's happening today before the Euro Guru Code that Felicia Mupo is holding. So if you guys want to go check out what Felicia's been doing, quick video tips, go over and check that out. Yes, yes, awesome. Okay, so as I know there's a little bit of a delay from you guys. Awesome, yes, definitely having back. Yes, yes, would love it. Awesome. Okay, guys, so I'll try to do some bartering here, guys, on your behalf. I'll try to get. I know Justin's busy, so I'll try to get some times locked down, guys, and we'll put something together for you. Again, thank you so much, Justin. Your experience and your expertise is well appreciated, and we want to say thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Bert. I appreciate it too.
Have a great day. Hey, I will send you over the link too in just a few minutes once it's up on YouTube, so
cool.
You have it as well.
Awesome, man. All right, thanks everybody.
Thanks, guys. Remember, guys, facebook.com/IGetVisitors, and you can go and connect with Justin Clark on Facebook. Once again, remember, tomorrow is a Friday fiesta. It's a free-for-all here on Free Daily Coaching. So if you took action this week, if you did something to go and build your business and you want to share what those actions were, come out tomorrow, raise your hand in the morning, we'll bring you out. You can be a part of and participate. I know that there's at least a half a dozen, maybe a dozen of you guys that I've seen taking action this week. So I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow morning to share with everyone else what you guys have done, what the actions you've taken, and the results you've gotten. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Justin, and we'll see you guys on the next freedailycoaching.com hangout.
All right, guys, take care.